Good afternoon. This is the City of Liberty Lake Parks and Arts Commission. It's Monday, June 5th, 2023, about 4:01 p.m. We'll start the meeting with a roll call. I'm Commissioner Hill. I'm present. Commissioner Himba.
I'm Bob. You're?
Himba.
I'm Bob.
I'm Bob. Sorry. Commissioner Frank.
Present.
Commissioner Chamberlain.
Present.
Commissioner Bear. See online? Hang on, I'm trying to get back to Zoom here. I don't think so. Commissioner Loparco? Commissioner Schneidmiller? Is there anybody online?
My apologies, I was on mute.
Oh, there you are. Welcome, hi. So we have a quorum. John, okay, so who's absent? Kate is out today, so I'm gonna try to. Barr and Schneidmiller. Hopefully they'll be joining us soon. Did everyone have a chance to look over the meeting minutes for the May 5th meeting? And if so, are there any comments or corrections?
No questions. I move to approve the May meeting minutes.
I second that.
It's been moved and approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Locke? Noel, are you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I said aye.
Got it, thanks. All right, moving on to citizen comments. Do you have any citizen comments today? Yep. Okay. Make sure the mic's on.
One, two. I'm Mark Saba, and I'm putting on my Winter Glow hat. A lot of you probably don't know, but I did a presentation to City Council about 3 months ago to have a permanent building built for Winter Glow. And because of legality and everything, it's going to be be put onto the 2024 budget. So it might be another year before it's completed. In the meantime, I spoke with Lisa Keys in regards to kind of decorating up the containers that we have across from the park right now. And I was going to ask for the Parks and Arts Commission's assistance and possibly getting high school kids or something to decorate some way or another, put on one of the containers, I would suggest putting maybe Winter Glow with its emblem on it. Another one I would suggest is Liberty Lake Together. Just some ideas like that. I believe I can speak for the board and Winter Glow. There's 2 of us here that are on the board right now. We would be more than happy to supply the paint. You think so? Thank you. I like it when you nod your head up and down. But it's just something that right now Lisa has asked me to bring this forward to you folks and see if you can get your assistance in helping us out with this.
Great to know. That might be a great project for stuff originally. Or even a local school might have.
And if you recall from that meeting, gosh, way months ago, a year ago, when somebody presented, I think it was Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa presented. I got her thing and it's a commitment.
Yeah, it's
on the
green with white lettering. That's all it was. So
Yeah,
it was pretty
and
basic.
yeah, it was pretty basic. I thought we could probably jack it up a little bit better, just really. So, your consideration on that, if we can, really need to do something, just to keep the people over there at the river district, keep them happy, because There's some disgruntled people because of the damage. If we can follow them up, I think they'll at least continue to do it. And it's only for about a week, so. Yep, okay. Thank you.
When we visited that, we talked about this.
It's been about a year ago, I want to say,
Wasn't there a staff member there?
yeah, it was just trying to get the monies and everything, but, you know, we're able to get, see, if you look at it about a year ago, we can go back a year and a half, 2 years ago. Dude, we were poor. I'm talking to Winterville, because we weren't able to do any of our fundraisers. And now we're able to do our fundraisers. As a matter of fact, we got our golf tournament coming up this week. And, this weekend, and then we also got our other, fundraiser, which is our dinner auction. And between just those two alone, it raises, almost, $15,000 to $18,000. So we got some money finally, and then with all the support of the businesses, the city, and everyone else, we're finally able to do something. So yeah, we'll get paint, let whoever wants to do their thing, we'll let them do. Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
So I wanted to. The documentation, unfinished business section.
It's good, so we're adding story walk to our agenda items here and have the stand set up. Do you, Tech, do you wanna take over the room?
Sure. Do you guys have, we emailed? Yes.
Yeah, we're going to give me, I have like 20 pictures and 2 presentations and some agendas. So just tell me when you want me to advance the slides.
Sure.
Okay, awesome, sweet, thank you. My name is Jacob Flower, and this is Morgan Kavanaugh. We are juniors at Spokane Valley Tech. And so, here.
We might do.
Sorry. So right now, the meeting, have been, this week has been approved for the public meeting. And so there will be some talk. And then,
So,
Can you step up to the microphone?
Yeah, so this is a standard blue, and it's just a pinch color than the flag is, but this is a color that's a standard color, which means that it costs us less money. And again, colors are always hard. They didn't have a paint chip that I could bring. So this is from their online thing. It actually is a little bit darker than this in my eye. But this is the color that we're proposing the stands and power with. So if this is acceptable, this is what we're doing.
let me ask, last year, or 3 years ago, 2019, wasn't there something about that bread that had to be, made to it?
Yeah, so what we didn't know, that we now know, because it's a learning concept, is that they need to be sandblasted and primed, and then powder coated if they're going to have the powder coated stay in a outside environment. And so that's what happened last year. In 2019, we got $800 supplies. Sandblasting, priming was $800. We're like, oh my gosh, that's like really powder coated. But we have that in, and it's already in our coat. Because we know we have to do that.
And that blue, we provided them with a color chip from the Orchard Park installations. And
It's pretty close, yeah. It's actually closer than it appears between the flag and the screen. With the budget. Mine's right there by myself in the school. So this is a big one because you guys did chose to go through us to make these, which is super, super cool. So we did learn a lot because this was a school project. So a big thing that I was a part of was the quality control systems, which basically means we get the part, we have to make sure it's in spec after we make it. And this was super cool because me and another classmate got to help run this between the AM and the PM classes, which we are in the PM class. We only go to one manufacturing class. And so we learned communication between both was very important. That was a super tricky piece. And then we also learned how to make them. I've never made a quality control, like a part to test another part with intolerance before. And so super awesome to work with everybody doing each kind of section that they were within the process and kind of working with them to make something that worked. And it's something that I could make as a designer. And so that was super, super cool. And then something else we learned was kind of how to optimize the workflow, which I really like saying. Workflow optimization just sounds awesome in my head. And so it was really, really cool to kind of set the process, like, okay, to make this, how are we going to make it, and how we make it as efficient and as accurate as possible. So one of the major problems we had was that the base plate, which is the part that's welded onto the column at the back of the storage stand, and that we ordered hot rolled steel, but we got cold rolled steel. And the important difference for this context is that when you weld cold rolled steel, there's more stress in it. And so when it gets hot, it actually distorts, which basically means it just warps when it gets hot. And the welders make it really, really hot. So we had to navigate that and figure out how to make it not distort as much. This was a really, really big issue that we had to figure out. But in the end, we got it. And that was awesome that we figured that out. So we're working as a whole class, both the AM and the PM classes collaborating to kind of figure that piece out. And so on the picture on the right there is a jig that we made to help figure that out. So we actually clamped that jig to the table we were welding it to so that it would warp less. And then we also used wet rags and then we weighted in between welds so that the heat would be way less. And then we also welded less. So instead of welding the hole around the whole column, we just welded the sides, which is totally fine. It doesn't affect the structural integrity because the welds are super duper strong. Next slide. And so the jig on the right, I already talked about. The one on the left is actually a really, really big one. And so this one was, all we did was we just clamped a bunch of clamps where they needed to go within the jig so they would be accurate, which sounds very simple, but to get the 16th tolerance that we had, it was actually very, very complicated and tricky process to figure that out. And that was also weeks of collaboration. So, again, thanks so much for this opportunity for us and to see the students who have gotten to learn these things. And you don't learn this anywhere, but typically on the job. And so here, students got to work within the team that they've been collaborating with all year and actually learn to do a manufacturing process where we didn't build one of something, we built 20. And again, the concepts were scary enough that I wasn't sure we could do it. But we did. And so, first off, thanks to Living World Promise. They're supporting us with the $2,500. At this point, for all the materials, we're actually under $2,500. So they're $2,466, I mean, something like that. And so, we came in under $2,500. That's awesome. And then the city's going to pay for powder coat. And again, we're going to be under $4,000 for the whole thing. So we've got, again, a fantastic, cost-effective product. And, the one thing that we're not creating is but again, it's a school is about learning, and again, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that. Also, thank you to American Alloy, so our the company that was going to do a laser cutting on their laser went down. All of a sudden, they went from a 4-week backlog to an 8-week backlog, and it was amazing. And so, I had some friends who run American Alloy, and they said, "Can you do this for us?" and we did it in 2 days, so that was wonderful. They're plastics, again, some folks out there that we worked with for years, they cut the plastic for us and turned around with like a billion pounds. And then Haskell Steel, and again, the supplier that we often work with, they cut us a little break on the steel. We say, we want to send us, maybe stay in budget, and again, have our steel. So, again, but I think thanks start with the commission, right? The Parks and Recs Commission, thanks so much for having the confidence and letting students have this experience. And again, both lines for going because we certainly could do it without you. I'm gonna go on slide. Awesome, thank you guys. Yeah, question.
Once you have the prototype and you started cutting and fabricating, how long did it actually take? And how many people were involved in it?
So I think it took like a week once we got into production. So it was about a week once we got the first prototype. And then it was less than a week. It was awesome. So we were in full force, full swing, and there was an AM shift and a PM shift together, like 30, 40 students. Yeah, so it was awesome. It was a whole manufacturing class collaboration. So we first started this, we after morning class, as a PM class, because this is all we were doing, right? So for a little bit less than a week, we were just making the story stand, which was awesome. But everybody had to be on board with that, and then everybody pulled through. So it's amazing for us, a very big operation, and it was awesome when we got it through you.
And they will be providing the city with a calculation of how many labor hours they put into this, because essentially that is what they're donating to the city in form of the stands. And so once we have that, we'll take that to the next.
Yeah, so to further answer your question, what's interesting about this, and really, you know, because we've been in here, right? So there's this thing called non-recurring engineering costs, and that's the design and development of the process. And we put way more into the development of the process than we did into actually doing it. Because once we had it, it was a piece of cake, like, boy, we did hard getting it, right? And so, again, I bet we spent double the time just in the engineering and the preparation that we did in actually making the ETL process. We achieved a little, if you got it down, it took us a while to do it right. And that was where the real win was. And then, of course, the labor management stuff that David is and AJ did, it's just amazing, like making sure that kids were all on board and moving to the station, what they needed to do.
A picture of all three of you by the stadium, would you believe? Oh, we would, absolutely appreciate that. We never taken that picture, Stephen, so that's awesome. Thank you.
Really can't thank you enough. I mean, hearing about this innovation process as you went along in Bumps in the Road was nothing short of spectacular on the solution you came up with in the finished product, and your hours that you donated. Really, this project would not have been possible without going through you guys and your great work. So words don't even say how much we appreciate it. Thank you.
What's your last name?
Morgan.
Morgan? Yes. What's his name? Morgan. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, thank you. Can't wait to see him up in August.
So Mark, congratulations on retirement. You will be missed. Hopefully you'll have somebody as talented as you to keep it close.
You know, so things change, right? And I'm definitely gonna be with the community. I'm gonna have to check out this Kiwanis thing, like I might have time to actually have a life. So, Rotary. Rotary Kiwanis. Oh, you're plugging Rotary.
Where's the Lots of Kwani. Now I know why you said this was the last.
Yeah. But Jacob, could you?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, one more part, so maybe we better do it next year while Jacob's still around.
So we should get this out of your way, because we're gonna take this and deliver it to the powder coating probably next week.
Can you, work with me on?
Yes,
the
yeah,
areas and-
yeah, and I've got the card and contact information,
I
there's,
just need to make sure you send.
you grab the heavy part, I grab the light.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you. It's bittersweet. I love doing this, I just don't need to work this hard.
understandable.
And we thought that this is.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we do.
Okay, what are you, speaking of retirement, you can work with the drawings and the
Yeah, man, you want to get back to all of it.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Up next on our agenda is our town application and double.
I was just gonna mention that I sent an email out for any of you who are interested in attending the webinar. I think it's next Thursday. It's going to give us information on what this, grant will allow us to potentially apply for. I'm not 100% schooled on it quite yet, and this webinar will kind of walk us through the process of filling out the application, we be qualified, so. I think Nancy,
If I don't,
if you don't, if it rains, I'll be, so I'm planning on being there, if nobody else can make it, and then I'll report back. But if anybody else would like to attend. It's in the email I can send it.
thank you. I'll be down to send it on against the paper. Okay, next is the update on the Community Engagement Commission meeting that I attended, I guess that was last month already. Great commission, very welcoming. I attended and so did Laura from Upward Companions regarding an off-leash dog park potential in the city of Liberty Lake. We gave a little PowerPoint presentation similar to what we've seen here in Parks and Rec, just on the logistics and creating a dog park and what it takes. And then Laura talked about the business community support of the project. And then I kind of segued into how Parks and Rec Commission can work together with community engagement on finding out what the people are doing. So, well, does anybody have any questions for me on that? Otherwise, we'll segue into our next agenda item, which is I invited the Community Engagement Commission to come in and maybe talk about how we can partner so that we know that we're representing the people.
Absolutely. I look at Parks and Art and the community engagement, this working together. And I think this dog park could be a kickoff for us. Currently, we are doing a survey for the strategic planning, and that will be finishing up at the end of the month. And then we're going to, our next one is to take the dog park and start surveying for the dog park. The community the strategic planning, because of the details and with length, we're running it about six weeks. Mark, is that it? About 8 weeks. About 8 weeks. So we get a true cycle on what exactly people are looking for within the city for the next 5 years. This survey will be much easier. It'll be one of those, you want dog park or not? And then they will comment afterwards if they have any comments. And we can conduct this online, like we're doing with we have a QR code that they could scan, and we can do that online, or we will also be surveying people at the farmers market in the same. From there, we don't know what's coming up in the future, but I see a lot of activity. It would have been great if we could have been part of the Hoot City. If we could have, that, we were just in the infancy of art, and you guys were going well ahead of them. But that would have been fun too. So I'm kind of, and I think David will agree too, and Robin also. I think the whole group agrees that we would love to work more closely with the Parks and Art. You know something? I'm on the committee for Barefoot in the Park. I work on it. Okay, I have fun in what I'm doing, and we're gonna have a tent there, which I think would be awesome. If we get some people from the Parks and Art, some people from the community engagement to work together, and we'll do the wristbands again this year. We'll do the rock cut, coloring, that type of thing. Just something that we can collaborate together and get to know each other. You know, that's kind of what my goal is, our goal. You guys, you see it. What do you guys think?
It's definitely Barefoot Park. We had a booth last year. We wanted to maybe do a joint one.
Yeah.
And, you know, that way we can have the power of the group if you will and engage in the community. I know that, you know, Mark Noel from the Country Open Companion is indicating that she's already talked to some businesses and we have some support in the dog park, but it is on the council agenda as an unranked. So this will give the council a tool to find out if, you know, something they want to rank it. Well, I hope that as you know, ask people what they want, it wouldn't be just about a dog park. It would be about any kind of park or any kind of park, item, you know, in the US. We really get a good sampling of, you know, everything within our purview that the community might have an interest in.
I think what we ought to look at within the next few weeks and collaborating together, to come up with the specifics and what we need to say to the and what we're going to do. We're going to have to do. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. One reason. Really to the is looking at the contact and what this could be participation in the same. You know, that is one reason that was saying, and that I don't think it's happy. And look at, the beach that was happening. Then I look at, go to, and said, that's all part of the community. And so that if you do, there is, you think that you do, that's really, then you but I want to say that yeah, actually, the open for that, so if you see other items, also, so you can do it, but not it, and I think that, As we all know.
Curious on the strategic plan, I think I was gonna want to plan, and I know there was some places for comments, is the strategic plan results gonna also give us some guidance? If people are making specific comments about something.
So the plan would be, once we approve, so to assess.
Next step is for Thompson Arts to go to a community engagement.
And then it's still living in you can build it to those that are, they're just gonna do it with grant. So then, so that you can still do it, you can still do it. Also, if you don't see it, then you can see it locally to play the community. So the moment you do it, you can get all the people. And because there are different ways in this for appropriate program. And I think that we should have some we know that sometimes
So if you're gonna be developing that, and then we do that. Remind me, it's Wednesdays at 6. Okay, any concerns, any thoughts on, rather than the
You guys have a beautiful idea and working good and really.
forward to seeing you July. Yes, go ahead.
Sounds like you can. British. we've got to do is, we've got some. Still, probably sure, we have another years of this.
Thank you for the update, really appreciate that.
So the AT&T's coming next meeting. It will be scheduled a meeting.
And yeah, when we schedule our July meeting, because it's the day before. So we'll get to that, we'll let you know. It's not gonna be that. Yes, I get it. Yeah, I can let you know what we should have. So that you.
Thanks again for coming, and I'm excited about our conference, and we will find out what folks. Great. Thanks, Rhonda, thanks. Okay, moving on to agenda items, or action items, discussions and presentations. Item one is to, take a look at the Hoop Town rule and vote on, the selection. Laura, do you want to-
Agenda pulled up, I created. Shannon provided their ranking, the score, vibrancy of the piece, the tie to the community, just overall strength and image. And from that, the right side, this is the node that was selected by faculty as kind of the contest. City felt like that tied in well with the like together theme that we have. And we'd like to request the council to recommend.
This is the presentation you'd like me to share.
Yeah, I would like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just including everything.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm not going for city council tonight.
Any questions? Any questions?
It was a great experience with the selection committee. Surprisingly, it was unanimously pretty good, yeah. But if nobody has any questions or needs more information, then I'll look for them.
Okay, motion to approve. It's like or the double clear.
Seeing none, all in favor? Okay, so the motion passes unanimously. This board to, city council tomorrow.
So if I may, next steps, so tomorrow night, this is on the agenda for, council approval for the artist agreement and the expenditure of $16,000 plus applicable sales tax. And also tomorrow night on the agenda is the resurfacing portion of the sport court through Aero Concrete to the tune of somewhere around 30,000. So these two projects obviously are two parts of one project. And once those are approved, I don't foresee any issues. This is approved. I have reached out, and so has Trevor Slocum, to Aero the next steps with them are getting them coordinated, with the artist, so they can start timing everything. We can start pinning down, an itinerary of what this timeline of this project is.
So that segues into our next item, on the skate park potential. You want to explain, Laura, how we got there?
I would just back up real quick and we don't know, I don't know if I just, the new things in the resources. There's in apartments, work. There's a potential need.
Consulting fee, if you will, say to some units down the road, it's gonna be low.
Yes, I just wanted to bring that up so that we can proceed in the conversation. And if you get it, please. I was selected. So moving into the next, so up here you'll see another piece that was submitted and people in need really like it and concerned was to believe in the conference and to be difficult to see the lines. That segued into the conversation of the constant graffiti that we have speak. And we felt that with this being needs in the state park. And Trevor specifically on his vandalized or the vandalism, so I reached out to this artist and state who is super excited about this. He's really excited. And so, to suggest. Boardwalk beautification, so this is just, I wanted to put it out there. Again, it was before it's over number too much. Here.
And if you'll notice over the weekend, the Hilliard Skate Park was repainted top to bottom, and they just painted it skate bright, clean slate, and it's just inviting for kids, people to.
When we looked at, he, when I have, I was over the middle of the night. Because I presently, we wanted to see them. This is our family. And, so we wanted, we love this, but we have some. Safe stuff. Real package of what it would take to. And wait into that conversation.
Maybe.
I was in the room. No, and the open wall too is not.
Can we make this, if we like this, can we make this happen?
Those things we use. And we can send to.
Yeah, I think if you could fit it in the beautification fund, definitely, I'd have to look and see how much we've spent on it, I don't think it's gonna be. We're gonna do it as a specific project, because you have dog ears, very specific projects for the strategic plan. I'd have to talk to Kyle, how we.
There's I'm looking at, the public art budget, and in 2023, we had 5 beautification. So what I'm hearing you saying, because we have the 50 and we have a 10 foot, we would have to somehow do something to move excess money from that into.
No, we don't move it, it's all in the one fund, but it's been dog-eared for council, and the council has seen that and approved those specific projects. It would be a discussion I would have with Mark and Kyle about how do we, is this something that's a spillover from the 13 projects? We can classify as part of that, I don't know.
So that we currently use funds for beautification, so if we send, these girls for beautification. Beautification, we allocate.
That's a great question. So again, it's just on paper that it's itemized out because it's.
No, I get that it's all
Yeah.
one. I mean,
So-
they've seen that as.
Yeah. Because council approved those specific items, I need to do the. I know what you're asking. I'll see what. I mean, ideally, it's whatever the total, the total fund was approved is what you have to spend. It's just the specific.
Because we're gonna have more than enough money in the.
Yeah, exactly. But they're going through some, I'll do some things.
You know, we really not doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like with, a little bit like with, the Parks Department, we specify $60,000 for a specific mower. We write that up in the CFP for that mower, it's $60,000. We decide we wanna go with something different, that's a different story. Even though the money is still there for that mower, because we're changing the piece of equipment to something different that wasn't approved and specified in the CFP, that's a different, and we do try to avoid that process. So I don't know that honestly I've been through that process before of changing something, other than don't know if that would be a budget amendment, because you're not changing the value, you're changing the item. Yeah, it's art, right? Okay, overall, you set aside 70,000, 60, whatever it was for art.
Yeah, I said, no, just, we don't specify what the.
Yeah, no, and that should be definitely, okay, but it says 5,000 in there, so, like, yeah, let me just take. So, we'll, next meeting. Could we do a new call? Or we could just go from the old one?
Well, that's something we can discuss. I would. What the base of this. That's the next step, we looking into. Versus. Being New York, idea. That's not really my. I'm happy to. What's helpful is, you know, and this is a public meeting, that I think
Also anticipating that we can. Are you planning on sharing that tomorrow night? Let's get that potential. Might be a good time to do it. Oh, yeah, I mean, we can talk about, you know, the selection committee, we're impressed with. It's for another potential for that, and we may have left them monies from. So, perspective is high level.
all much information, you can amend the slides.
But if it was me, I would just put a picture up, his picture, and say, from the selection committee, from this process of this hoop mural, this came to our attention, discussion is in the works on a potential project with the skate park and this particular artist, and here's an example. Yes, that way they have a vision, and you mentioned it. So if we do have to have a discussion in some fashion with a budget change, they are already aware of what we're talking about.
So there's a lot of slide now.
Just with the movie. Appreciate that. Okay. Now we're to, vote on moving the 2023 Spokane Symphony Agreement forward to City Council for a vote. Yeah, so this is just a very simple, housekeeping item. I've been emailing Joel Frank. Each year, the city and Greenstone Foundation has had a contract for the symphony coming to the park. Greenstone Foundation has the direct contract with the symphony, and then the city has an agreement with Greenstone Foundation. It's been a year to year, most of our agreements are 3 year, and that's what the symphony's agreement is 3 year with Greenstone. It'd be nice to just match that and follow suit with what we already do and follow suit with what the city does. So I just wanted to see if we could have a vote from the support of the Parks and Arts Commission to move forward pursuing a scooter agreement.
What's that?
I don't know this year, he hasn't sent me the updated. Last year it was 18,500. It's been creeping up, I want to say about $500 a year. So I'm kind of expecting, this is a new contract, I believe, this next year. I'm expecting maybe 18. Well, it just depends on what Greenstone and the symphony come up with to start a new contract. in a second to, put it forward to city council to, have a 3-year contract on this one from the city. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Unanimously. Okay, moving on to another housekeeping item, reschedule the July meeting. The July meeting is July 3rd, I believe, and the 4th is. So you want to move on to, the 10th?
Yeah.
Any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor? Next agenda item is, discussion that came out of, Trailhead, I guess. I can take that, yeah. So I followed up with Lisa before this meeting, and this really kind of came from nowhere. It wasn't planned, it wasn't discussed. But it was simply, they had 2 extra walls, and I sent you, the photos are in your packet as well, and I sent them to you. They have 2 kind of blank walls, clean slates, if you will, over at the Trailhead facility that could be potential for art. Or whatever the Parks and Arts Commission would so recommend, it could be a rotating wall, it could be whatever it is you decide. So this was simply just a suggestion. 2 blank spaces, they're in good, I guess, focal entry points, very viewable. And from there, that it will be up to the Parks and Arts Commission whatever they want to do with these 2 spaces. So there's that one, and then there's this. And these 2 are separate from where the was.
No, I wanted to come back with, really with the splash. This was not necessarily an idea. This was something that was, so to hear about that, being co-chair of the Parks and Arts, to hear about that. So I know we can't. Splash clearly suggests that this would be brings me back to the idea of what do we actually do in the city? What does the city want us to do? So if we're going to have the idea to do it, that's perfect. But sometimes I find feathers get a little ruffled when it comes to the commission afterwards. And maybe I'm making I feel surprised when I hear this is planned to display. That's how this was going to be. That's how it was going to be. That's just.
There's one of those walls, but it's one of the walls where we were waiting on this.
It's just down, well, it's just really not super big in there, so it's probably like from here to like around there. Maybe.
So I can hit that now if you'd like. There isn't going to be a second tour, because they're going to be going to this. So I asked, I said, no more tours, completion date is scheduled for around June 14th or June 16th. Yeah, so, and then, movie date is scheduled tentatively to open for the opening of the fourth. And then you can. Right.
So I have a question. If you go to the intent, use it with that,
Some of the libraries and restaurants and.
If we did this on hold, maybe we have a decision. Is it already been?
This is the first I heard about it, so, again,
Very local, in the city.
yeah, and that's, what I understand, it can be anything the person's commission wants it to be. It does not have to be rotating, it does not,
It'd be nice to be able to say whatever. it wants.
Yeah.
well, you go to that stuff.
Right there, yeah.
Moving through.
have time, no rush.
Yeah.
I don't know about any outside influences. This was the first I heard about it when I got an email to me, and then I emailed it to all of you. And they said it's an open slate for
Yeah.
Parks and Rec. I haven't even read anything that's
Yeah,
flashed.
that's something, that could have been, we well before the.
Yeah.
Started, we said something about that.
Potentially, you know, to-
There's opportunities.
See the river, room, and view, that we use it. Indeed. These are also
Well, Jen, if you could keep us posted about when we could at least just walk in, maybe after the June 15th, but before the opening day. There would be a time where we could just walk in the front there and take a look. And we could put it on our January meeting to discuss and.
I think the area is probably, they took these three windows.
For next time. And that brings us to our budget and strategic plan.
So I took the draft or the document from last year that was approved by council and I updated it according to our last meeting. There were no changes that I made. This is draft, mind you. There were no changes made to the content on the first two pages. All I did was update 23. This is what potentially the document will look like going into the budget for this next season. So it'll show 2023's projects. It'll project 24, 25, and 26, and on 26, I didn't have anything. Feel free to change any of this. These were just what I copied and pasted over from the approved document from last year. So we went out through 2025 last year. So we need to add 2026 and responsible for this year. I also included projects under discussion and new additions for 2023 based on feedback from fellow commissioners in past discussions and all projects that have come up just through conversation. So if anything is missing, let me know.
Do we need to add that?
Yeah, I think that would be, you know, if you put it as a project slated for 24, then it's, you know, it would be a signature project, just like your other ones, should have for this
Is
year.
that, we should do it this year?
So I'm gonna continue to investigate how to go about doing that this year, but if you couldn't do it this year, then it's on there for next year. We still have a month or two, a good solid month or two, or maybe 3, before we need to decide for finalizing this, so there's still time. And then, you know, we ought to know more within a month or 2.
Maybe put it as a placeholder.
Yeah, I would
Like
recommend
the
that.
line items.
Yeah,
That last page is part as well with the new additions. So,
so they're conversational, identifiers. It would be up to you all to vote to move them onto, a line item.
Honestly, 2024, maybe we 12,000 is everything comes from this.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, if you want to see anything removed, we have things that have been added on there from past commissioners that are here. I hope you can take some of those items on. There'll be an expect skating rink. Intermediate, or that was a discussion from a long time ago, you know, do you want to keep them on that?
The picture in the middle.
Oh,
We actually just.
yes.
That should be like still
Yes.
about a year.
Yes, yes. No, then that's why I put a note that he has something to focus and his approach. So there's good QR code or the.
You want to finally put the word on the special item? Or do you want to include it under the
Maybe somebody with good voice that you can.
as its own item? Any thoughts on that? Yes. So far, just to, slim down. I think 5.
Well, because you would want, which, when we talked about it last, we said, I think the implication, if we make it the same line item, then we talk.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
Morning start is
Yeah.
So what are we calling this? Historical pavilion?
I would historical. Historical park historical.
I like Outlook because it covers more than just a story. It includes the landscape.
by the flagpole, so we,
Yeah. We need a sidewalk that walks up to the. Yes.
Well, we can put it all. Very nice.
unless you do that, then nobody's gonna do it.
Okay, so far I have, add the skate park for 12,000 and William Park is still about one.
And there's anything.
Oh, in my personal or professional opinion. Skating, but I do know there is a fall, there is a.
Oh, I meant budget. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
No, but that as well, I think, I don't know, we haven't really done any development. Yes.
These are, I mean, big one issues and I already know what we're doing with them. It was to be temporary business. I'm not going to. And it's substantial, the maintenance business. And just really,
Really, I mean, maybe leave the skating rink under discussion.
Yeah. I'd say if you're on the fence, leave it. If you absolutely know it should be on there, let's take it off, but we didn't inform. Maybe I'll drop out on the wall.
Maybe an agenda item. Do we need this resolved? And we can't.
No, we don't. We can't, yeah. Yeah. What I can do is add the items that you all suggest as part of the draft and then give the other commissioners a chance to weigh in at the next meeting on those items and bring in the full.
Probably by the next meeting, we need to kind of really fine tune the budget and strategic plan, and do some updating on it, and really drill it. Not over, and maybe take a plan, and so much to get a plan, because I believe our city administrator, and that he was gonna move the process. So we have already in July. There's no items. Okay, and then we can look at discussion maybe on the 2024, we're gonna insert historic plans or something like that. We want to look down to this whole this can be we can hold discuss that next meeting. So I move this on to your staff report. All right, the first thing up is, I do believe I let you all know a couple of weeks ago that we are now trying out these stickers on our trash cans that gives people the capability to text the text-my-gov hotline when they are full or they need GPS. Yeah, it's something we tried, it's something we've seen around with a few other places that have tried this. We haven't gotten a ton of responses, but I look at it as if we get 3 responses, that's additional support for us and our staff responding to. Because our staff hits the trash cans every single day, except for the weekends, that's hit and miss. And so if I know on Sunday morning that such and such trash cans, I can shoot a message over in case somebody is in, they can address it, or they will get to it first thing. So it's just one less thing that we have to go find that people can send us the information. We are going to also try it. David Gaynor is going to be ordering stickers for vandalism. Actually, we kind of reworded it. We put report damage. So we get a lot of damage in our restrooms, any form of most times vandalism. What we did is we put the sticker so it's going to read to report damage, text the word damage to the 2557 blah, blah, blah. If this is vandalism, contact Crime Check at 456-2233. So it will, it's not going to be up to the person to decide was this vandalism or was this dangerous damage to the thing. They can have the option to do both, and if it's pretty blatant that it's vandalism, they have a route to process of what person needs to do. And then we have a timeline. So the idea of this is hopefully somebody would report something late at night or over a weekend, off hours when my crew isn't there, because we often find it Monday morning. And the first thing the police department asks us is, well, what time do you think it happened? Sometime between Friday night or Saturday morning, Monday morning. Well, then they have to go through all the footage of the camera. So in order to narrow down that time that somebody texted, they texted Saturday night at 8 o'clock that there was some sort of damage that happened, it will help PD
opportunity to go on with it. Helpful tool. Sports syndicates starting up, next week. Oh, Haircut in the Park, who wants to be in the dunk tank? So we're gonna have a dunk tank, not sure if it's gonna be in it yet, I think the way we're gonna set it up is it's gonna be a fundraiser for the Ridgeline, banner. So hopefully, we're gonna coordinate with them to let them run it, let them charge the fee and then, we're purchasing a very large human foosball, setup. We are gonna have a lot more inflatables up there this year, and we tried to focus more on inflatables for the older kids. We got some feedback last year that it was all geared towards little kids, and the older teens didn't have any interest. So we have an array, we have like a wipeout course, an inflatable wipeout course that I think the older kids would love. And then the bungee trampoline, the older kids love, and we couldn't give them. A little bit, yep.
For me to, at the next meeting, because we won't have one after that before we're.
Sure. And the July meeting?
No, there's our office meeting, yeah.
Yeah, and to note, yeah, we've decided that we're gonna put the Parks and Arts Commission and CDC Commission together this year in one booth up above by the inflatables and all the activities. We'll have, one of our staff working up there to do wristbands, got feedback last year, but we didn't like walking over. So, I will probably still be down below in the safety booth, lost and found wristbands and everything else. And then we'll also duplicate that up above so that there's two areas for those, because those areas can be information. Yeah. So the family fund will run 9 to 4. And we're gonna be publishing a timeline. And I'm not gonna go through all of these upcoming events, but you can see there are a lot, and I apologize for N. I could not put it all in the text. Projects, real quick on projects, graffiti barrels and can share. So I'm not gonna share all the photos on screen. But I did print them for you. They are gorgeous. Oh my goodness. So the question is gonna be what park, how are we gonna decide where they go? There's 4 painted. There's 4 painted. So Trevor Slocum's question was, where do you want to go? And what do you want done with the other 2 that are still sitting out for the special needs kids? So nothing's happened. And Jandy did go out on maternity leave, although Michaela, I think, is handling the graffiti barrels, so I can follow up with her if she's heard anything, if you'd like me to. If not, well, I mean, it's too late to go back to the school so far. So we could just hold them till fall. The library has some summer camp. I mean, if there's a group that wants to do it. Okay. So we'll hold them and then be thinking about where you'd like to place them. I imagine we'll probably pick them up in a few weeks. I'm thinking about the 3 major parks and then regions. That's what I would do. Put them in a highly focal point at each park, one of the highest, visible. So literally maybe by the splash pad, pavilion, down by the pavilion somewhere. I would put it like by the concession stand, by the restroom, right in there, so maybe by the water. So you think about, where the centrally located to the playground and the shelter. And then, town square. We can move them. The other project is, so, the plows are done and they are going to they have asked us to pick them up and also coordinate their last day of school walkthrough. So they do it with the seniors, they walk them from the school to the football field, I believe, and they want to walk them through the plows. Well, then my guy, Derek, had a suggestion, why don't we hook them up to the plows with front end loaders and actually, yeah, raise them up and show them off, and the kids can walk, you know, through, you know, football fields. So we're gonna do that. And anyone can go that wants to go, he said it's gonna, the principal said it's gonna. It's not really a huge formal thing, but if you want to try it. And then Hoop Art is in your packet. We've had a lot of people coming to us, to present projects that they're interested in, so I'm telling you every single one. So you push back if it's too much, and I'm just gonna keep throwing them at you, so the ridge line, and forgive me, it's what I remember from like being, it's the teacher who teaches that nowadays. Thank you, I think that's what it is. She is presenting a hoop art project to coordinate with, like, installing it in parks is what I'm understanding. So I will meet with her further and vet out further details. This is just a high level for your information. I'm suggesting that they work with the Parks and Rec Commission, so that this is becoming such a normal process that the process is such, and I've spoken with Nancy, if someone comes to me with a project, the first thing I'm gonna do is vet out what it is. And most all of them are legitimate. So get some details, ask them what it is they're looking for. Are you looking for funding? Are you looking for support? And then that's when I will invite them to a Parks and Rec Commission meeting to then tell their story and ask for it. The other one that just reached out to me today over the weekend was Liberty Launch Academy. Different than Cozy, this is not Cozy Canyon, this is somebody else. They want to have their students engaging in producing chess tables in some fashion and placing them in books. I guess they do this in New York City. So, again, have a meeting set up with them, I think. Tomorrow. To vet it out, what it is you're looking for, what do you need, all of these, then we can. Smarty signs, we're gonna have on the, this is what we talked about prior, the signboards for folks for children on the, children in the spectrum. She's gonna be presenting at the next meeting. And then Cozy Kalen reached out to me again today following up from her presentation couple meetings ago on arts and ecology integration project with her students in the parks. So I'm trying to gain some clarity from her and help her define what it is she's exactly looking for. She gave Parks and Rec Commission a high level introduction of what she's wanting to do. Now we're meeting next Monday morning to sort of define, okay, she wants the Parks and Rec Commission support, but I'm going to help her verbalize what it is. And then lastly, fitness classes were approved at the last council meeting. Sports camps are filling up, and Memorial Day was a success. I didn't attend the pancake breakfast myself, but attended the DAR celebration, and it was more heavily attended than I. Did you really? So no waste. That's amazing.
That project was kind of cool. He gave us the visuals and we each that's good. Yeah, that might be better suited for too much wide open space in parks. Yeah. So I'll meet with them and get some ideas, and if our parks isn't the right, my concern is vandalism and revenue. But if our parks aren't the best place, then I'll work with you all to give me suggestions of what to do.
That is all I have, I apologize, it's so much. Yeah. Yeah, we know we need to get the good things done. I think we may be able to close presentations. Yeah, we can do that. So far I have, CEC provided update in the July meeting, skate park art I'll follow up on the questions. I'll follow up with Road for Parks and Rec walking, I'll shoot an email for that, we do it such. In the barefoot booth. And the presentation that. A little communication. Smarty. Smarty signals and then presentations. So we can focus on the strategic plan. We really do. And then anything that comes out of these other discussions. We follow it, and we can start looking at. And I'm sure we'll be close with story about items, we can. I think that's all I have. I don't have anything else for the group. The one thing I was thinking about, because it worries me, so we still have the actual. So we have an actual position that is not filled, it is open, and they can vote in the absence of regular commissioners, so we could push that out to see if anybody is interested in it. Maybe we can. Well, this is the first time we've ever not had one, or at least we started out with one on the voting items. And I'll follow up with John and Bob. Just to make sure they're getting. Yes, Richard, excellent.